It looks like this. I'm going to sign on as Sarah.
Now everyone knows my secret.
Oh, you're logged on?
Yeah.
The reason why I'm signing on as Sarah is because I made one side of your handout as easy speak as Toastmaster. She's the Toastmaster now. The place to start once you're logged in, it's important. Once you're logged in, then click on View Meeting down here. And when you click on View Meeting, you will go to what is the next meeting.
Can you hit that light over
So
there?
obviously, it's already queued up to the 14th of April. So once the screen loads, it's going to show 14th of April. Now I took a screenshot of what this looks like and the places you need to look for as the Toastmaster. On the left, you'll notice that there's a full attendance list. And let's go down the list right now. Brian, are you going to be here next week?
Should be.
Okay. Charlie, are you going to be here next week?
Yes.
Okay. Cheryl's not going to be here. Christy said yes. Debbie's not here, so we can't ask her. Mark, are you going to be here?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark doesn't really want to be here.
It's resisting.
And let's see, Sandy, will you be here?
Yes!
Okay.
And Patty.
And Patty, will you be here? Patty will be here. Come on. Paul, will
Yes.
you be here?
Yes.
Very good. And Steve?
Yes.
Great. Now, we've gone through the list. Anytime you update this, once you click on any of the statuses, go to the top and click Save on the left side. Now in a moment, I'm going to show you there's two places where Save exists. So the attendance has its own Save button.
Ah, I was going to ask about the two save buttons.
The right side Save button is for roles. Next week, I'm going to do my last presentation to get my ACV. So that's what this one is. And Karen's going to do a presentation from the Entertaining Speaker Manual. Now, on your sheet, I wrote sign up speakers using request to speech link. If you want, feel free to write in this just to tie things together. I put a little box around it in green. I'm going to show you what that would look like. Here is an educational speech. These are the canned speeches that we have to do to get certain designations. So if you're the Toastmaster, you click on request to speech. It'll then open a window that'll ask you who's doing what, when. Oh. It may not let you do it. Hold on. Okay, never mind. If you want to request, this is why, last time I signed on as me, this is why I signed on as Sarah. If you want to add a speech, tell me, or you can request it yourself, and it goes in queue. One note, if you request a speech yourself, it goes into a queue, and I have to accept. The reason why that feature is set that way is so that we don't have any anybody who likes to showboard take over every meeting and speak at every meeting.
So as the VP, you accept
Yes.
all speakers.
Yeah, I have to accept it.
Can we ask a question?
Go ahead, yeah.
So is it better to do it via this, requesting a speech, or just sending you an email, which is quicker?
I think sending me emails quicker.
Okay.
Because people kept telling me that the speech is in queue, and then I realized there is a
Right.
place for me to do that, but it's better if you just tell me.
Okay.
So it's not just the educational on this regular speakers?
It's the
You
same
go through
same
you?
feature, yeah.
Okay.
And if you know the speech title and the book you're using, it'd be good. Sandy?
Are you going to talk about clicking on your role too
Yes.
later? Okay. I won't ask my question yet then.
So Paul, we're kind of role-playing right now in that, say I want to sign up for a speech.
Okay.
Or am I letting you know because you're the president, or am I
I'm-
letting Sarah
I'm-
know because she's the Toastmaster?
Oh, you have to tell. It's not that I'm the president. I'm just the acting VPE.
Okay.
The vice president of education does the schedule.
Okay.
That's the job. And so I'm doing it right now. That's why you would tell me. You can also tell the Toastmaster, because the Toastmaster, if you need any support, the Toastmaster support is me, because I'm the IT support for this. There are other users in Easy Speak, and if you ever are totally in a bind and it's like 10 at night, you're at home like trying to figure it out, you can always go into the information. There's help options. There's a place where you can search your question. You can also go on the forum, and if not one of the other members answers you, one of the developers will answer you because they just want everyone to be really happy. And if you find an error, they will, like, I've reported several, and they just jump all over it. They want it to be really user-friendly. So they're trying. That's the thing that's nice about this. So notice on the right, there's these little check boxes, this, and these X marks. So on your handout, I noted that the X's are to remove members from roles by using these bloody X's. So if you thought, well, Paul said he can't do it, you want to eliminate me from this, you just go ahead and click the bloody X.
Do you mean red X's?
Yes, the red X.
Okay. It's not very nice language.
So I'll give an example. Like, Susan, I'm going to remove you, then re-add you. So Susan's already confirmed, but then Susan, she's terminally ill. No, she's not. But
I won the lottery.
she won the lottery. There,
Much better.
Okay, so you won the lottery.
She's all
I'm
bloody.
not going to be there because I'm going to be doing my press conference. So I then click the X. It reloads the page anytime you do this. So don't be scared. And then it'll have an opening. Now from here, as the Toastmaster, you can, if someone tells you, I can do it, you can click on the drop-down menu and then you can select that person. So Susan called me back, told me, oh sorry, I actually only want a scratch ticket for $5. I misunderstood. So I put Susan back in. And then click save at the top, because it has to reload. It doesn't automatically reload when you fix someone. Yes?
Question. So I've noticed that I don't show up a lot over there for roles. How can you just go in and say, yeah, make me this for all these dates?
Yes, I will show you that as well.
I was waiting for that portion
Okay.
before asking my question.
So Susan calls back, says she's going to do it. So Susan's confirmed. Then we click this small box. click it. There. Okay. So anytime anyone confirms, you click the small boxes. This looks different when you're not the Toastmaster, and we'll get to that next. Steve, are you going to be the timer?
Yes.
Okay. Brian, are you going to be the general evaluator?
Sure.
All right. And then again, at the top. Oh, do we have a volunteer for a vote counter?
Sure, I can do it. Right underneath you, Paul.
Oh, don't worry about the timing. Since we converted, it just picks amounts of time since you last filled everything.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not going to confirm this because I need to show you the other part of my handout, which is Easy Speak as a non-Toastmaster. So we're going to go to the next week. Hello. If I can get it to go to that spot.
It is temperamental even when you're sitting at home. It is temperamental.
Okay, as the non-Toastmaster, there's two places to say that you're coming. Yes or no up here. You can also say yes, no, or maybe down here. You can also click Edit Comments and put an apology note. Like you can write the reason why you're not going to be there.
One
So
lottery.
Sarah's going to say,
It's not an apology. That's an announcement.
so when she's declining, she's going to put her decline reason, and it's going to reload. Oh, sorry. You're supposed to do that first. And then she's going to say, I stole Susan's ticket. And then once you're done, Just click anywhere outside of the box. It'll automatically steal it. The only person who can see that is the Vice President of Education and the week's Toastmaster. Lastly, as a non-Toastmaster, if you are coming, so she gave it back, Sarah gave back the ticket.
I think we should delete that comment.
Then because she is coming, she can click yes that she wants to be the vote counter. Or she can click yes for any other open role, like first evaluator. So any role that's not assigned, she can ask. If you want to steal someone's role, you have to ask the Vice President of Education for announcement. Okay?
Speaking of stealing, what I've noticed is I signed up for one role and then all of a sudden I was not in that role anymore and I actually didn't have a role for this week, and that's why I ended up signing up for grammarian this week. Because I was fully,
You were an evaluator and he was no longer doing his speech.
but then I think I signed up for table topics and then all of a sudden I got moved from the position. Does that happen because you do it, or does the system just change me around?
I don't know, you might have been making a change at the same time as him.
Yeah.
I was working on at the same time as you, and it kept saying like,
Yeah.
The meeting has changed, please refresh your screens.
And I kept getting emails from you
Oh, yeah.
through the system.
That's the way it works. I am the sender of all of them. Very last note. You can always see who the Toastmaster of the week is by seeing the meeting manager down here. So Stephen is the timer or he's the Toastmaster for this. This is in 2 weeks. And so he can think about that. And whoever fills this role automatically gets this. So, do you have any?
Regrets, I actually know in 2 weeks, is that the 17th or the 21st?
Uh,
Yeah, this is next week. This is the 14th, next week's meeting.
oh, this is the 21st.
Oh.
I am not going to be here on the 21st.
Okay. So we will find a volunteer.
I'll go in there and make a comment.
Yeah. Does anyone have any more questions?
If you want to trade and do it next week, I can do it this week. Right.
Paul, you said, when you scroll down to the bottom where it says meeting manager, okay, so this is we were looking at the 21st just now. Aside from Steve making the change he's going to make, are you saying that down there,
This is
the
where
meeting
the
manager
Toastmaster.
is also called the Toastmaster?
Yes. Meeting manager just means he has the authority to change everything
Okay.
for the meeting. So whoever's here will also be here.
I have a question.
Yes, Mark.
So on the other one that we used, I already forgot what it's called, there was a way that you could show like the next 4 or 5 or 6 meetings and all the roles, and we would send that out periodically so that we could kind of
Do you want me to
look
do
into
that?
the future.
There's a way I can format
I was just curious if there's a way.
It does have a similar feature, but it's a little different. So I can still do that. Do people want that? Like the the old schedule chart we used to have?
Like going into the future, you
Yes?
can see
Okay.
like 6 weeks out or
Yeah.
4 weeks
Okay.
It's an
out.
option.
Well, I have to just modify it, but it's not the same format, but it's similar. I think it's more, I have to look at the way it is. There's several ways to look at it. One of them is just who's doing what, like, I'll figure it out. The old club scheduling program is called Club Scheduler. There's no support, and we had to pay a licensing fee every year.
Yeah, of course.
So this is different in that it's free and there's support.
Wow.
So
How is
that's
that
the reason why
possible?
we chose this one. Instead of free Toast Host, which I was less familiar with and I got bad reviews on. So, do we have any more questions? Great, Mr. Toastmaster.
Yay.